And we're back. All right, now we're gonna continue with North Dakota. Now, in Dakota's U.S. Senate election, John Hoeven easily beat Katrina Christensen by 36 by 31 percentage points, and Rick Becker got an impressive 19% of the vote, which is a lot for a third party. That's pretty impressive. Now, in North Dakota's House race, there wasn't even a Democrat in the race. Wow. Kara Mund was able to get 38% of the vote as a third party or independent, and Kelly Armstrong was able to retain his or her seat. I don't know who Kelly Armstrong is. I don't want to get canceled on the internet, but you know what? Whatever. Anyways, now that we got North Dakota done because that was easy, um, can I go to the next state, please? Please? Okay, there we go. Thank you. Next is Ohio. Ohio. All right. Next is Ohio. Here we go. Ohio. Come on, Ohio. Eh, I'm getting impatient though. Come on. Okay, now we finally got Ohio. All right, here we go. Senate, House, Governor. We're not going to do ballot initiatives once again. Like I said before, we're not doing that. No, no way. Um, anyways, let's see here. Oh, all right, and in Ohio, for the Ohio Senate, J.D. Vance, the Trump endorsed candidate, has officially won against Tim Ryan. So this is a pretty big deal to say the least. So yeah, J.D. Vance became a big name in this election. So yeah, J.D. Vance won. What I don't know what else is there to say. Now for Ohio, Greg Landsman won. Actually, Greg Landsman actually defeated the Republican incumbent Steve Chabot with by 4 percentage points. So this will be a Democratic gain for in Ohio's first congressional district. In the second district, the Republican won by a landslide with 3/4 of the vote. In the third district, Joyce Beatty won by a 7-3 ratio. In the fourth district, Jim Jordan won by a landslide with 38% with a 38% margin. In the fifth district, Bob Lotto won by a 2/3 majority, so that's a landslide. So yeah, that is pretty big to know. Anyways, oh my god, really, bro? You're not gonna do this to me now, are you? Oh my god, this is getting annoying. Uh, oh my god. Okay, I'm getting mad. I'm getting super mad. I'm getting super mad. Come on, bro. Seriously, this might take another 1.5 hours. Come on, bro. I'm not in the mood for this. Seriously, I want to get this done today. I'm literally like recording this an hour after the first part, so. In the 6th district, Bill Johnson won by a landslide yet again. So, wow. In the 7th district, Max Miller won against Matthew Deemer by 10 percentage points. In Ohio's 8th congressional district, the incumbent Warren Davidson won by a landslide against Vanessa Enoch. In the 9th district, Mary Kapture won with a 14% margin. In the 10th district, Mike Turner won his reelection bid by 24 percentage points. Yeah, Ohio is becoming a red state. You're gonna see a lot of red. So yeah, could you imagine how red it'll be? Okay, in the 11th district, Democratic incumbent Chantel Brown won by a landslide. In the 12th district, Republican incumbent Troy Balderson won by a 7-3 margin, so it was a landslide. In the 13th district, Amelia Sykes won with a 6% margin against the Republican. In the 14th district, David Joyce won against Matt Kilboy by more than 20 percentage points. In the 15th district, Mike Carey was able to keep his seat against Josephson by a 24% margin. And in the gubernatorial election, this wasn't even close. Mike DeWine won with 63% of the vote. And there's almost 10,000 people voted for writing candidates. So, yeah, that's that's nice. Oh, okay. Okay. Where's all right, there we go. There we go. Come on. The next state is Oklahoma. Oklahoma's next. This. Oh, hey, 215. That's. I'll have to check on that. Republicans are so close to getting a majority, officially speaking. Oklahoma. We got to. So let's start with Oklahoma, and yeah, I'm gonna need to do some updates very soon on the races I have not called yet. In the U.S. Senate, there's like a regular election and a special election going on right now. James Lankford, the Republican incumbent, won against Madison Horn very easily, with Michael Delaney and Kenneth Blevins each receiving 2%. And Marquane Mullen easily won against former U.S. Representative Kendra Horn by a big margin as well, with Robert Murphy getting 2% and Ray Woods getting 1%. In the U.S. House, this this wasn't even close. Kevin Hearn easily won against the Democrat by a large margin, and Evelyn Rogers got 4% of the vote. In the second district, Josh Breaching literally won in a landslide, with Ben Robinson getting 4% of the vote. In the third district, Frank Lucas, the Republican incumbent, easily won by a with 3/4 of the vote. In the fourth district, Tom Cole, the incumbent, won by 2/3 of the vote, and Stephanie Bice literally won with a 22% margin, with David Frost getting 4% of the vote. And in the gubernatorial election, Kevin Stitt easily won with a 13-point lead, with Natalie Bruno and Irvin Yang getting 1% each in the gubernatorial election. All right, the next state we're gonna. If this thing just does, swear to God, this is how it is nowadays. Like, why? Why? No! Okay, this is getting annoying. Like, I don't know what else to talk about. Like, good, blah, 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 blah. This page is slowing down Firefox. Oh my god. Uh, how long has it been exactly? It's been like almost 8 minutes. Seriously, this is starting to anger me badly. I'm almost done with it. Can't you just. I swear, it just never seems like holding on any longer. Like, seriously. In the 2022 midterm elections, only in the. No. But seriously, though, let's take a look at Oregon now. Because we need to. Let's see what happens. In the U.S. Senate, Ron Wyden easily beat Joe Ray Perkins with a 14 percentage point lead, with Chris Henry getting 2% of the vote and Dan Polju getting 1% of the vote. In the U.S. House, in the first district, the Democratic incumbent won with 2/3 of the vote. In the second district, the Republican incumbent won with 2/3 of the vote. In the third district, the Democratic incumbent literally won by more than double digits, by like 20, like 45 percentage points. Yeah, that's how big it is. It was basically a landslide. Um, oh yeah, and David Dell got 3% of the vote. In the fourth district, Val Hoyle won against Alex Skarlatos with 8 percentage points, with Levi Leatherberry, Jim Howard, and Mike Belstein with each getting 2% of the vote. In Oregon's 5th congressional district, it's not been called yet, but as of right now, the Republican is currently in the lead, and I will have to go back and check on that later. All right. Come on. Okay, sixth. The 6th congressional district has also not been called, with the Democrat currently in the lead by a couple percentage points, with Larry McFarland getting 2% of the vote. So we'll see what happens. And the gubernatorial election has also not been called at all in Oregon. I was not expecting this race to be this close, but Tina Kotek is currently in the lead with 2 percentage points, with Betsy Johnson getting the independent, I'm pretty sure, is getting like 9% of the vote, which is pretty good. There's two other candidates out there, Donnie Smith and Leon Noble, getting a few thousand votes each. So yeah, we are gonna have to go back and check on that later. Um, let's see here. Pennsylvania is next. Now, like I said before, John Fetterman did end up beating Mehmet Oz. So as of this video's recording, it's the only flip that has been made. So I'm just gonna see how much of a margin he lost. Dr. Mehmet Oz lost by, just to see how this happened. So John Fetterman got 51% of the vote. Mehmet Oz got 47%. There's also Eric Gerhardt, Richard Weiss, and Daniel Wasmer, each getting 1 to 0% of the vote each. So those are the numbers. In the U.S. House in Pennsylvania, in the first district, Susan Wild narrowly holds on to her seat by a couple percentage points. No, in the seventh district. Sorry, in the seventh congressional district. So just to clarify, hang on. Night 4. I'm sorry about that, guys. I keep getting interrupted. All right, in the first congressional district, the Republican incumbent Brian Fitzpatrick won by 10 percentage points easily. In the second district, Democratic incumbent Brendan Boyle easily won by almost three-fourths of the vote. In the third congressional district, there wasn't even a Republican in the race, with Chris Hopner getting 5% of the vote. So Democratic incumbent Dwight Evans easily won. In the fourth district, Madeline Dean easily won with 61% of the vote, and 300 people casting their exactly 300 people. Wow, that's hilarious. But anyways, in the fifth congressional district, with 99% of precincts reporting, the Democratic incumbent Mary Gay Scanlon easily won her re-election bid by 28 percentage points. In the sixth district, Democratic incumbent Chrissy Houlihan easily won with a 14% margin. In the 8th District, Democratic incumbent Matthew Cartwright narrowly held on to his seat by 2 percentage points. In the Ninth District, Republican incumbent Daniel Muser easily won with 7/10 of the vote. In the 10th District, Scott Perry easily won with 8% of the vote. So, yeah, congrats to him. I still can't believe, though, the Republicans are about to take over the U.S. House of Representatives. So, what's that going to mean for the Biden administration? So basically, what it is going to mean is similar to Trump. It's Biden's not going to get anything else done for the rest of the time, as long as, well, during his term anyway. So yeah, in the 11th district, the Republican incumbent won by a hefty margin, 24% to be exact. In the 12th district, the blue, the Democratic incumbent won by 12 percentage points. In the 13th and 14th districts, okay, these are basically two dictatorships. There wasn't even a competitor, so yep, two Republican dictatorships. That's two more on the list. Oh god. In the 15th district, the Republican incumbent won with 70% of the vote. So that's a landslide victory right there. Surely, I don't think Pennsylvania has many more seats to go through. I'm pretty sure. So, if this team could just hurry the crap up and just let us move on with our lives, that would be great. That would be great. Like seriously, no, seriously, come on, don't do this to me now. I'm not ready to go over the gubernatorial elections yet. The 16th district. Oh my god. Oh boy. I don't know what's happening. Okay, finally. Okay, for the 16th district, the Republican incumbent Mike Kelly won with 19% with a 19% margin. In the 17th district, it's Chris DeLuzio won with a 6% lead. So yeah, finally we can go over to Pennsylvania where Democrat Josh Shapiro easily beat Doug Mastriano with a 14 percentage point lead. There's also three other candidates as well: Matt Hackenberg, Christina DeGio, and Joe Solowski. So 1%, 23,000 to 20,000. So yeah, that's Pennsylvania. Josh Josh Shapiro won. Honestly, I was expecting it to be a little more competitive, but eh, whatever. I honestly wasn't expecting all this to happen. Next is Rhode Island, a blue state. I'm stating the obvious. Of course I am. Okay, there's a House election and a gubernatorial election, so that's a big deal to look out for. All right. Okay, in Rhode Island's first congressional district, the Democratic incumbent easily won with 28 percentage points, and in the second district, the Democrats narrowly held on to this seat, with Alan Fung getting so close. William Gilbert received 3% of the vote, so yeah. And in the gubernatorial election, Democratic incumbent Daniel McKee easily won with a 19% lead, with Zachary Hurwitz, Paul Rihanna, and Elijah Gizzarelli each getting 1% of the vote. So yeah, Rhode Island is blue, though I wasn't expecting the second district to be close, but hey. But anyways, yeah, Rhode Island's a blue state, so that's to be expected, I guess. If this thing can hurry up, we can actually move on to a red state for a change. Like, hurry up. Mm. And this thing's not working. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, now we can go on to a red state. South Carolina. There we go. Yep, as you guys saw, they are the Republican. This is a red seat, so this is a red state, so it's Republicans will not have any trouble defending this state at all. In the U.S. Senate, Tim Scott is able to hold on to his seat with a 24% lead. So yeah, in the U.S. House, Republican incumbent Nancy Mace was able to hold on with a 14% lead, with Joseph Otto getting 1% of the vote. In the second district, the Republican incumbent was able to get an 18% lead over the Democrat. In the third district, it's basically a one person race. However, 2% of the voters did end up voting for writing candidates. So we're not going to count it as a dictatorship thanks to the writing candidates. Same with the fourth, where write ins covered up 9% of the vote, which is huge. In the fifth district, the Republican incumbent easily won with a 30% lead, with Larry Geither getting 1% of the vote. In the 6th district, Democratic incumbent Jim Clyburn was able to easily hold on to this seat with a 24 percentage points. And in the 7th district, Russell Fry was able to easily win with a 30% lead. And now for the gubernatorial election, no surprise here. The Republican incumbent won against Joe Cunningham, with Bruce Reeves getting 1% of the vote. Not a surprise, this is a red state. We're almost done with it, guys. Woo! We're finally almost done. Yay! Okay, we're gonna go to South Dakota. South Dakota. Chrissy Nome is running for re-election. Come on. All right. Polls are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, yeah, we get it. We get it. All right. For the U.S. Senate, John Thune was able to hold on to the seat with 70% of the votes, which is a landslide. Tamara Lesnar received 4% of the vote. Okay, that's pretty big. In the first district, in the only district of South Dakota, there wasn't even a Democrat, so Dusty Johnson was able to hold on to the seat easily. However, Colin Duperl did get 23% of the vote, which is very good for a third party candidate. So, yeah, that's all there was. And yeah, time to go on to the next state. Let's see here. South Carolina, South Dakota. What's after South Dakota? Tennessee. Oh, and then we gotta go to Texas. Okay, that'll be good. We are now almost 21 minutes into this next part of the video, in case I don't decide to merge them. So, in Tennessee, another red state that we have to go through. Okay, there's been talk about abortion, of course. Abortion. Like, what is you guys' opinion on abortion? Should it be legal? Should it be not? Like, how has Roe v. Wade affected your life and in positive or negative? Or has it even impacted your life at all? Because I know there's a significant amount of people, such as myself, who probably don't care much about abortion because it doesn't really impact our lives. And it's not just abortion, it's most things like immigration and I guess the death penalty and wow, wow. I'm sure there's more of this. I'm sure more will come into my mind over time. Oh, I scrolled way past it. Oh, whoops, my bad. All right, this wasn't hard. All right, there's no U.S. Senate in this election. In the first district, the Republican won by a landslide with Richard Baker and Matt Macron each receiving 1% of the vote. The second district was also a landslide with a 36% lead. In the third district, literally a 38% lead with Rick Tyler and Thomas Roomba each getting 1% of the vote. The fourth district was also a landslide with Mike Winton getting 2%, Clyde Benton getting 1%, and David Jones, Theron Chandler, and Joseph Magyar each getting a few hundred votes. So, and there were also some writing candidates as well. In the fifth district, the Republican won by 14 percentage points, with Derek Brantley and Daniel Cooper getting 1% of the vote each, while Rick Shannon getting like a little more than 800 votes. Oh, and yes, if I'm doing this split in this video during this, and if I, oh yeah, if you're watching this second part, then that means I've decided to split the video apart, and I will be mentioning all the third party independent results because third parties matter. But anyways, in the sixth district, John Rose won with 2/3 of the vote. In the seventh district, the Republican won by 22 percentage points, with Stephen Hooper getting 2%. In the eighth district, the Republican won by 50 percentage points. Wow, that's overkill. With James Hart and Ronnie Henley getting 1% each. In the ninth district, the Democratic incumbent won by a landslide, with George Flynn getting 2% and Dennis Clark getting 1%. Paul Cook almost got 500 votes. In the gubernatorial election, this was no surprise. Bill Lee is able to hold on to a seat, with John Gentry and Constance Every getting 1% each, while Deborah Rouse, Rick Tyler, and Charles Van Morgan each getting like a few thousand votes. So yeah, Tennessee's a red state. No surprise there. Excuse me. So okay, we are almost done, guys. Hang on with me now. Next is Texas. Oh yeah. Oh, finally, we're our last big state, Texas. Woo! Now, there's been a lot of significant attention towards the gubernatorial race in Texas because of Beto O'Rourke. So, but first, let's go over the House races. In the first district, The Republican won by a landslide. It wasn't even close. And in the second district, incumbent Dan Crenshaw won with 2/3 the vote. In the third district, the Republican was able to win this seat by 24%, by 24% margin with with Mr. Caster or Madam Caster, with Clade getting like 3% of the vote. So yeah, in the fourth district, the Republican incumbent was able to win with 2/3 of the vote, with Simmons running for a third party or independent, getting 2% of the vote. In Texas's 5th congressional district, the Republican incumbent was able to win by 30 percentage points with Hale. Look, I don't. Why? Wait a minute. How come they're not mentioning their first names anymore? Like, what the hell, Texas? Or am I just going crazy? But anyways, the third Hale receiving 2% of the votes. I guess I'm just gonna go by their last names for this. I don't know. Okay, in the 6th district of Texas. Okay, Jake Elzy. I remember Jake Elzy. He actually won in a jungle primary system, I believe, last time during a special election. But yeah, and in that special election, it was basically two Republicans running against each other. So yeah, Texas's 6th district became a dictatorship yet again. That sucks. So yeah, in the 7th congressional district, the Lizzie Fletcher easily won with 28% of the votes. In the 8th district, the Republican incumbent won easily by a landslide, with Erickson getting 1% of the vote. In the 9th district, Al Green easily won by a landslide. In the 10th district, the Republican incumbent easily won with a landslide, with Kelsey with be running officially receiving 2% of the vote. It seems pretty good, I guess. Pretty standard, but that's okay. Come on. Come on. So, okay, the 11th district is a dictatorship. Yeah, oh, god dang it. Alright, alright. The 12th district, Kay Granger easily won with 28% of the vote, with a 28% margin. In the 13th district, the Republican incumbent won by more than 3/4 of the vote. In the 14th district, the Republican incumbent won by almost 70% of the vote. In the 15th district, the Republican won with a majority, with Leon getting 2% of the vote. Yeah, Texas has been fairly conservative for a while, but there has been some concerns about the state going blue. Some want it to go blue, others don't. Whatever the case may be. In the 16th district, the Democratic incumbent won easily by 26%, by a 26% margin. In the 17th district, the Republican incumbent won by a landslide. The 18th district also has been held by the Democrat by a landslide, with Duncan and Kurtz each receiving votes as well, with Duncan receiving 2% and Kurtz receiving 1%. In the 19th district, the Republican incumbent literally won with 4/5 of the vote. Like, seriously. In the 20th district, the Democratic incumbent won by 36 percentage points. So that is literally a landslide. So it's like more than double. So this seat's never going red. But, okay, in the 21st district, the Republican incumbent won by 26 percentage points. So that's pretty big. In the 22nd district has been held by the Republican incumbent by 28 percentage points, so that's pretty big. In the 23rd district, Republicans have also held on to this seat with 28 percentage points as well. Wait, no, hold on, I'm calculating it wrong. 18%, sorry, 18%, my bad. In the 24th district, the incumbent Beth Van Dunn won with a 20% margin. The 25th district is a dictatorship. Man, how many is that so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 are dictatorships and 7 D dictatorships. Not great. All right, in the 26th district, the Republican won by almost by more than double by got more than double the votes. There wasn't even a Democrat in this race. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, the Republican won easily, no problem. In the 27th district, the Democrat lost by 28 percentage points. In the 28th district, the Democratic incumbent won by a 14% lead. In the 29th district was just a complete landslide. In the 30th district, the Democratic incumbent won with 3/4 of the vote, with Manning getting 2% of the vote and Gray getting 1% of the vote. And other literally has like 2 votes. So I'm sure no one's going to show it to us exactly who those 2 write-in votes were for. And in the 31st district, it's a dictatorship again. God dang it. Uh, no more dictatorship, please. Please, God. 32nd, the Democrat won by 30 percentage points. In the 33rd district, there was a complete landslide. In the 34th district, the Democratic. Wait, no, no, no. Hold on. Hold on. In the 33rd district, Ashby got 2% of the vote. Alright, yeah, always make sure to represent or some for some reason. In the 34th district, the Democratic incumbent won with 9 percentage points, with Royal receiving 3% of the vote. And in the 35th district, looks like we're not done yet, the Democratic incumbent won by a landslide. Like, not even close. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's not that many seats left for Texas before we can go over the gubernatorial election. So, I am excited to end this video for you guys. So, in the 36th district, like, let's take a look at this map. Wyoming County is currently counting results. Like, look at all that red. But anyways, in the 36th district, the Republican incumbent literally won by by more than double what the Democrats have. So it's by 7/10 with 7/10 of the vote. In the 37th district, the Democratic incumbent won by a landslide, with Patterson getting 2% of the vote. And in the 38th district, the Republican incumbent won by 28% of the vote, with DeJean getting 2% of the vote. And so, looking at the governor's race, Greg Abbott easily beat Beto O'Rourke by 11 percentage points, with Libertarian Mark Tippett and I think Green Party candidate Barrios receiving 82,000 votes and 28,800 votes respectively. And people also threw in some write-ins, of course, because why not? Write-in helps provide more choice on the ballot. So, anyways, now that we're done with this state, hopefully the rest of this video will go smoother sailing. Come on. Wait. Okay, next is Utah. Oh yeah, the U.S. Senate race in Utah got a little interesting because there was no Democrat in the race. The Democrats decided to endorse Evan McMullin, who previously ran as an independent back in 2016 for U.S. president. And I really wanted Evan McMullin to win. I know a lot of people may have not liked him, but I really wanted it to win. Unfortunately, he did lose by 13 percentage points. There are also a few other candidates on the race as well. Jimmy Hansen with 2% of the vote and Tommy Williams with 1% of the vote. So, yeah. Now for Utah's House races. Blake Moore won easily against the Democrat. So, yeah. 36 percentage points. So, basically more than double. It's a landslide. In the second district, the Republican incumbent won by a landslide, earning twice as many votes as the Dem, with Jay McFarland and Cassie Easley each getting 3% of the vote. And in the third district, the Republican got two-thirds of the vote, with Michael Stoddard getting 3%, Michael Cummings getting 2%, and Aaron Hindman getting 1%. In the fourth district, Burgess Owens easily won with a 30% margin, with January Walker getting 6% of the vote. January Walker, that is such a good name. January Walker, of Walking in January. That sounds like a good name. But, people name their kids June, May, maybe July. But, eh. Next is Vermont. Anyways, yeah, once again, I was very disappointed that Evan McMullen didn't win. I wanted to see another independent in office because independent is the number one demographic. But anyways, in Peter Welch easily won. This is a blue state. He is replacing longtime Democratic incumbent Patrick Leahy, who I think is one of the longest serving U.S. senators in American history. So, yeah, that's pretty big. So, there's a bunch of third party and independent candidates: Don Ellis, Natasha Diamondstone Cohout, and Carrie Rehab, each getting 1%, and Mark Coaster, Stephen Duke, and Chris Erickson, each getting a little more than 1,000 votes. And at the at large seat of Vermont, it's a Democratic hold. No surprise, this is a blue state. Erica Redick got 4%. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Matt Drebza getting 2%. Luke Talbot also got 2%. And Adam Ortiz got 1%. And in the gubernatorial election, popular incumbent Phil Scott easily won by a landslide with 71% of the vote, with Kevin Hoyt and Peter Duval getting 2% of the vote, and Bernard Peters, along with writing candidates, each getting 1%. So yeah, once Phil Scott leaves governor, this seat will go back. That seat will go back to the Democrats, but they're gonna have to wait until Phil Scott doesn't want to do it anymore, and I think he's gonna want to do it for a while because Republicans need this seat, and they're gonna need Phil Scott in order to maintain a hold in Vermont. So, anyways, in Virginia, okay, Virginia has voter ID laws. Okay, in okay, there's no U.S. Senate election. In the U.S. House, okay, this one's a key race. Looks like this. Oh, this is a key race. This is a flip. In Virginia's second congressional district, Jen Higgins flipped the seat from blue to red. Elaine Luria, the Democratic incumbent, has lost the race by 4 percentage points. This is breaking news. This is a Republican gain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying this again. This is a Republican gain. In the first district, the Republican incumbent was able to maintain his seat with 13% by 13 percentage points, with David Foster getting 1% of the vote. In the third congressional district, Bobby Scott easily won with two-thirds of the vote. In the fourth district, the Democratic incumbent won with a 30% lead. In the fifth district, Bob Good won with a 16% lead. So, yeah, that's still a big deal. But anyways, in the sixth district, the Republican incumbent won with 30% by a 30% margin. In the seventh district, Abigail Spanberger narrowly won this race by by a 4% margin. In the eighth district, the Democratic incumbent won by a landslide, almost winning as triple, with Teddy Fiker getting 1%. In the ninth district, the Republican incumbent also won by a landslide. In the 10th district, the Democratic incumbent won the race with 6% by 6% margin. So, yeah, this was more of a key race, but yeah, this was not a great night for Democrats in Virginia, to say the least. In the 11th district, the Democratic incumbent won with two-thirds of the vote. So, yeah, yeah, this has not been a great night for Democrats in the U.S. House, but in the U.S. Senate, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like seriously, this could go any way. Next is Washington. Yay, Washington. We're almost done with this. Wow, I wasn't expecting to get done with this with all the lag and stuff. Voters in Washington are heading to the polls this Thursday. Ballots need to be submitted before polls close. Okay, okay, cool. In the U.S. Senate, the Democratic incumbent won by a 14% margin. So, yeah. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. Okay, now going for the U.S. House. In the first district, the Democratic incumbent won with 28% of the vote. In the second district, the Democratic incumbent also won, but this time by 23% of the vote. The third district, though, has officially not been called yet. That's that's a big deal. Um, Crap, I have no room. I'm gonna need to erase my paper again. No. Okay, Washington third, but the Democrat is currently in the lead right now, with write-ins getting 1% of the vote. So that's a pretty big deal. In the fourth district, the Republican incumbent won with 2/3 of the vote, with write-ins getting 2%. Wow, that's actually pretty great. In the fifth district, the Republican incumbent won by 18 percentage points. So this was expected to go red. Oh, I don't get. I, oh yeah, I just real noticed. Sometimes the numbers keep saying total estimated to be early slash absentee 100%. So what I'm hearing is, in some states, apparently all of their ballots are either early voting or absentee. No actual voting on voting day. That's insane. But anyways, in the sixth district, the Democratic incumbent won by 24 percentage points. So yeah, in the seventh district, it was a complete landslide. The Democratic incumbent won by a complete and utter landslide. And the 8th district has officially not been called, with the Democratic incumbent currently in the lead. So we don't know what will happen. It, but it's looking as though the Democrat will most likely win. In the ninth district, it was a complete and utter landslide. In the 10th district, the Democratic incumbent won by 14 percentage points. So yeah, obviously this is a blue state. Some races closer than unexpected, maybe, but uh, this is still a blue state. Democrats will be fine. And now, West Virginia. West Virginia. West Virginia. Okay, West Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia. It's just they only have the U.S. House, and I think they only have like a couple of seats. And West Virginia is a red state, so I'm sure both of them will go red. Yeah, they only have two seats. In the first district, Carol Miller won with 2/3 of the vote, with Belinda Fox Spencer getting 5% of the vote. Nice. And in the second district, the Republican incumbent won by 31 percentage points, with write-ins getting 1% of the vote. Okay, wait, 30%. Okay, it's not 100%. All right, that's good. All right, we're almost done. I'm glad we're almost done with this. Ugh, come on. Okay, okay, you're. Wisconsin, Wisconsin. Okay, we have a U.S. Senate election, a U.S. House election. Oh, there's also a race for governor. Okay, so Wisconsin is a the gubernatorial race is competitive this year. So yeah, that was fun. In the U.S. Senate, the Republican incumbent Ron Johnson narrowly holds on to the seat by 1% point. So yeah, that this was a tight race that could have gone either way. So congrats to Ron Johnson. All right, for U.S. House. In the first district, the Republican incumbent won by a 9% margin, with Charles Barnman getting 1% of the vote. In the second district, it's a complete landslide with Douglas Alexander getting 2% of the vote. In the third district, the Republicans won this seat with 6% of the vote. Well, no, with a 6% margin, I'm sorry. In the fourth district, the Democratic incumbent won with three-quarters of the vote, with Robert Raymond getting 2% of the vote. In the fifth district, Republican incumbent Scott Fitzgerald is able to maintain his seat by a 30% lead. In the sixth district, oh, another supposedly Republican dictatorship had it not been for the writing candidates. Glenn Grothman was the only candidate who was officially on the ballot, but 5% of the voters in that district decided to vote write-in. So we're not counting it as a dictatorship. So yeah. In the 7th district, the Republican incumbent easily won by a 24% lead. And in the 8th district, there was no Democrat in the race. Paul Boucher got 16% of the vote, Jacob Vanden Plas got 10% of the vote, and Writings got 2%. Wow. Overall, this was a pretty good year for third-party independent voters in this district, though because there was no Democrat, the Republican most likely won. And in the gubernatorial race, the Democratic incumbent Tony Evers is able to hold on to his seat with a 3% lead, and Joan Beglinger got 1% of the vote. And okay, we're almost done. That's great. And lastly, last but not least, Wyoming. Wyoming, yay! Last is Wyoming. Let's first start with the U.S. House, where Harriet Hageman beat Liz Cheney in the primary after Cheney's controversial stance on Jan 6th in Wyoming, and the people of Wyoming weren't happy about it. Because this is a red state, she won easily with Richard Brubaker getting 3% and Marissa Selvig getting 2% of the vote. Ryan's also got 2% of the vote as well. And for Wyoming governor, the Republican incumbent won re-election really easily by a landslide, almost getting three-quarters of the vote. Ryan's actually got like 6% of the vote, while Jared Bald's got 4%. So, yeah, third parties and independents in write-ins, pretty big year for them. So that's about it, guys. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I am gonna have to make an update video on all the races that have not been called, along with the whole Montana's first district thing, which apparently ABC News did not try to enter in for some odd reason. So, anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I really hope this video gets sent in. Peace. Maybe not peace just yet. Okay, peace. Alright, update. I found results for Montana's first congressional district, and I'm so glad I found them too. As of right now, the Republican appears to be winning the election by 3.6 percentage points. Even though the race has not been called, yeah, it's very likely that the Republican is going to win, and not even by a majority, too. Libertarian John Lamb received 3.8% of the vote, so yeah, obviously, a majority of people would have been unhappy with the outcome of the election. But, yeah, because this is Montana, this is a red state, it's very likely that the Republicans will win this seat. Yeah, so it's not going to be that hard. So, yeah, congratulations to Mr. Ryan Zink. I'm sorry ABC could not cover you. I think ABC News is trying to censor you. But, yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later for real.